Every day we see people heading somewhere. Many of them are probably on their way home. They might live somewhere close to where you first noticed them. Or sometimes they might have a long journey ahead because they live really far away. You might think returning home should come naturally, like flowing water. But that doesn't mean everyone's an expert at it. So sometimes it might be helpful to look at someone else's steps before you start to head home yourself. So stick with me, and I'll show you how. You probably have many mixed reasons as to why you want to go back home. It could be that your time there has just come to an end. Or maybe you just can't stand the food there anymore. Or maybe you feel like you're being caged when you're really meant to be free. Sometimes the reason could be physical. In any case, you want to leave because you're not happy with the quality of life there. And once you make that decision, you're determined to return home, no matter what stands in your way. So you start to plan your exit, but you're not really sure how it's all going to work out in the end. At least, not yet. Leaving early is especially hard if you couldn't finish the things that were given to you. And the friends you made there seem so clueless. You feel kind of bad as you're about to break the news to them. Like, it's not much, but it's hard to just wipe out all the connections you made there. It kind of feels like you're about to commit a crime. And then you start to worry that once you tell people you're leaving, your value to them might just plummet. So you might need to rely on something that gives you courage. And you finally tell a few people that you're going back home. Make sure you tell them how much time you have left. You were probably really anxious and even kind of excited, but it's actually quite anticlimactic. And now your work is done, because word will spread on its own, and now everyone will know. You're going home. You wake up the next morning and things are just different. You start to feel like you're in a completely different place now, somewhere wonderful and even a little magical. You complained it was damp there, but now it feels nice and warm. Mom's touch made you want to throw up, but now the chicken tastes tender. And all of a sudden, everyone around you starts asking questions about you leaving, and you sort of feel like a star. People start showing you affection and sadness in their own ways. Some might even try to get you to stay by luring you with white lies. So you just have to enjoy that attention as much as you can. There are different ways to go about this next step, which is packing. You begin to notice a surprising amount of traces of your time there. The songs you listened to the most while you were there, or an outfit that you wore most often, or it could be a moment that made you laugh the hardest. Maybe it was something you enjoyed reading to get through some tough times. You realize that you actually gained a lot of new things away from home. So you just continue to pack all those traces and organize them. And you get ready for your reset. Everything's packed away and gone now. And it's like you were never even here. And then you're left thinking, okay, what do I do now? Time starts to pick up its pace, and each day will pass by really quickly. Every day you feel this crazy pressure to enjoy the present, but you can't because it's kind of driving you insane. But you try your best to make a collection of your finest memories. You stay up all night because there's not much time left. You try to spend some quality time with your friends because there's not much time left. You try to look at things differently because there's not much time left. You try your very best to retain everything you're seeing because there's not much time left. The whole situation just feels like an emergency. And your intentions were good, but eventually you'll feel overwhelmed by your own compulsion. You try to watch that film but miss it. And you wanted to be friends with everyone but fail. And you finally open up to someone, but time flies away. The sun continues to set and the day is almost over, but you can't stop. You must keep going. Because we know that the sweetest part of the cake is always the last bite. And that's how the final moment comes. The morning of your return feels really peaceful for some reason. Until you're about to tackle an impossible task. You can try to pretend like you're busy, like maybe fake a phone call or something. Time is flying at the speed of light at this point. It's best to keep your distance when you're saying your goodbye. If you tense up too much, you might seem too robotic, so don't do that. Try to find a good balance. Otherwise, you risk exposing a considerable amount of tears, and that's just embarrassing. To be honest, there's no real right way to approach this part. You probably have lots of questions crowding your head, but you should know that only you know the right answer. So you do your final check. You thoroughly see if you've left anything behind, because it might be a long way back to find that. It's time. It's time for you to return home. It feels like a spaceship has arrived to take you back to your home planet. And you must go alone from this point. And you made it home. You're not sure if you're just dreaming, but feel relief when you see the scenes that you missed. You're going to go out to fully savor your return. Everything is just as you remember it to be, only better. You walk around with pride, like a caped hero returning home from battle. And you come back to your room to find a gift. It's time. The time from where you just departed. Then you start to return to that place. You'll see once you return home. The place you left yesterday was also once your home now. And the next time you want to return home, now you have another home to return to. You know how to go back now, right?